Heroes in a Half Cell, Turtle Power. Talk about this. Not the TV show, but this. I even got my favorite Ninja Turtle shirt on right now. On the front, it has Leonardo with the belt buckle, because you can tell it's Leonardo with the L, right? Right? But hold on. That's not all. Okay. So, now that I'm standing, you guys can see the front, right? Right? This is cool, right? And the back. With the shell, right? And the swords. I showcase this, because it's the, I'm so excited. I'm so excited that I can't talk straight. Sorry about that. But we're going to talk about the final chapter of The Last Ronin, which is part 5. And it's called The Last Ronin. Kind of on the nose, right? So, I really... this was a really epic conclusion to the series. It was, badass, right? So, the last chapter ends was kind of where this chapter begins. Michelangelo arguing with his brothers, right? And, his brothers are giving Mikey a hard time for not finishing Hiroto when he could have. They are giving him crap that they should have, pressed on. And, so, yeah, we see him walking out, right? Then we essentially get to, Hiroto, giving his ninjas a hard time, saying, yeah, what do you mean we still cannot reach Stockman? The entire city will be trying to claw their way in here any minute. This displeases me greatly. And so, through this conversation, Hiroto says, put all his soldiers on alert. Have the guards on the level that he's on currently in this conversation, and have them to crush the rebels. And Casey Marie finds is on a look for April, right? And she finds April, and through this conversation, Casey Marie says, I know I've been different all my life. It's because I'm mutant, aren't I? I got some of the mutagen in my blood, don't I? And April and Casey Marie has this heart to heart, which is really cool. And she's this little heart to heart kind of type deal in an argument fashion. And towards the end, Casey Marie says, yeah, I'm going to go find Sensei. Sensei being Michelangelo, because that's her new nickname for Mikey now, is Sensei. Mikey, on the other hand, he infiltrates the Foot Clan headquarters just by Hiroto to put this war, Mikey infiltrates the Foot headquarters to end this war once and for all, right? And, he kicks some serious ass. We also see some, robotic crows, and this guard looks pretty cool when he's not actually, is there a clear shot of him? I guess not. This is about the clearest shot. But this thing that's attacking Michelangelo looks pretty cool. And I actually do want to cosplay as The Last Ronin. I do want to cosplay as this, the turtle mask, the turtle hands with the outfit and everything. I want to cosplay as The Last Ronin. Watch the next bit, or I'm not picking my nose, I'm scratching. Don't trust me. Don't. I was doing this because it's on my nose itches. I'm gonna stop before I make this conversation even weirder. But yeah, watch next time I go to something like C2E2 or another geeky type convention. There are gonna be some people that are dressing up like The Last Ronin. I'm telling you. And essentially after Michelangelo beats some guys, we see Hiroto, right? And Michelangelo and Hiroto has this little dialogue, and um, Hiroto essentially kills his mother. Cause he's upset at Karai because in his words, in truth, I always hated her. She left me as a child and never returned. I only kept her alive out of spite, lost and alone in her coffin while I conquered, where I thrived. And Michelangelo actually gave Karai a compliment, saying at least she had honor. Like despite of their differences, Mikey is actually saying that Karai had honor, and unlike her child. And then, this is when the fight begins, which this Mikey, the guy on top in the image I'm trying to show you is Hiroto, the Strider's grandson, Karai's son, and it's his suit is out, like Hiroto's suit is made out of liquid metal, like nanocarbine, because like there's this point in the fight which there we go, where he gets injured, right? There's like this mark, but in this side you don't see the mark, and so like it self heals. The suit self heals itself, I should say. And this fight is epic, and yeah, there's some parts where it kind of pans to like April Marie and the Rebels, which it's cool and all, but my attention was like mostly on, oh snap, what's going on with Mikey and Hiroto, Splinter Jr., right? And then the base, like the foot headquarters is blown up, which disables like, or the tower gets blown up, right? Which I guess was linked to Hiroto's armor being able to like self heal itself or self repair, and it's like this fight with Mikey and Hiroto definitely was a great setup from like part 1, which was called for Death, all the way in part 5 being called The Last Ronin, and it essentially leads to them getting like spat out from like what it looks like the sewers from this angle, which it is, to Mikey and Hiroto fighting in the water, which essentially causes Hiroto to die. Like in the end, Hiroto dies, and in this battle, Hiroto nicked Mikey pretty good, which causes him to lay there, start dying. But good thing for Casey Marie, she started to she actually came there right on time, because at least Michelangelo had someone there that cares about him as he was dying. And Casey Marie was saying, "No, you're not leaving me. You can't. I brought the journal. See, you were going to teach me how to. You were going to teach me. You promised." And then Michelangelo says, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Casey. Defeating the last Hiroto, this was my family's destiny, to defeat the Strider's bloodline, but the book will teach you everything that you need to know." And April actually comes in at the last moment. This is April, this is Casey, and this is Mikey that's dead right now. And of course she's sad, and her last words is, on this page was, "Oh, Mikey, goodbye, my sweet friend." And then we get like beep when at the hospital when ever someone dies, go like beep 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 beep, and then goes flat. And then we get this like really cool scene. And it seems like Michelangelo is referred to 16 again. Oh, and this reminds me. Back before the fight started between Michelangelo and Hiroto, um, it was Hiroto, before they actually fought, one of the things Hiroto says was, "Which one are you, by the way? You filthy monsters all look all the same to me, dead or alive." And then Michelangelo says, 16 years. It's been 16 years since you killed my family, so I was thinking maybe like those flashbacks we saw in the last 4 chapters or parts were about 20-ish years. 20, maybe 30 years. But I guess I didn't really connect the dots really, that April Marie is 16 years old, 16, 15. And April didn't find out she was pregnant until like after the explosion that caused her to lose her arm and leg. I guess I totally like skipped over that in my head. So yeah, this definitely confirms, if you were like me and not paid attention, like as close of attention as I should have, this definitely confirms it's been 16 years since the flashbacks and current day. So yeah, not bad. So Michelangelo at this point is 32 throughout this story. But when he dies, he de-aged 16 years, I guess. And we could see Casey Jones and Splinter in the afterlife. I'm guessing this is the afterlife, right? And then it says, as you guys can see at the end, right? But no, there's more. There's an epilogue where we see Casey Marie training. She essentially she closes the book that Michelangelo gave her, which was Splinter's. Give her mom, Mama O'Neill, April, a kiss on the cheek. And she was... the story ultimately ends with Casey Marie looking at 4 turtles. I'm guessing she's planning to mutate them and become their sensei. These turtles Master Splinter, or Master Casey Marie. And then, on the bottom, right here, it says, to be continued. So that means The Last Ronin will have a sequel. The Last Ronin will have a sequel, and I'm that's actually pretty cool. This was cool. This was really cool. Oh, and we got this little thing on the back from Kevin Eastman, which says, and I'll read for you guys. And I remember, and this was made in like March 22nd. I mean, March 2002. I mean, March 2022 this year. So, yeah, all 5 issues in here. So, anyways, Kevin Eastman says, I remember the appealing wallpaper of tiny living room at 28 Union Street in Dover, New Hampshire, as Peter Lord, and I apologize if I mispronounced your name, Peter. Peter and I took turns filling in the last black square of the organizational chart that represented the workflow of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 1. I was now late spring, and the 40 pages of story that we created, wrote, and drew together were completed, and we couldn't have been more thrilled. It was the longest story either of us had produced, and good, bad, or ugly, it was all ours. With all the sweet equality coupled with $12,000 loans from my supportive uncle, Quentin Eastman, the final product was sent off to a local printer. If we were in luck, we would get it back just in time for the local comic convention of our friend Ralph D. Bernardo. I apologize if I mispronounce your last name, Ralph. was hosting our over in Portsmouth. The stores aligned, everything arrived in time, and on May 5th, 1984, we unleashed our creation on an unsuspecting public. That was 38 years ago. Wow, 38? The Ninja Turtles franchise is 38. 12 years older than me. Okay, wow, okay. We had produced a story with a beginning, middle, and an end. An origin story leaving the door open for more. And we never planned a second issue. The public, however, had other plans for us. In 1987, the dream had more than come true. We were drawing comics full time, following in the footsteps of our creative heroes that inspired us, and things couldn't have been any better. As we built our characters, As we built out our characters' universe, we wondered how long this would last. We had our beginning, lots of outrageous adventures, and what would the end look like for our creation, the final story? What if we looked 30 years into the future and explored a story set then? So we wrote it down, but this time our characters had other plans for us. 32 years later, in the year 2018, the time to re-explore that idea has arrived. Okay. I'm following. The extremely gifted writer Tom Waltz was an incredible army of talented artisans, was heading toward wrapping a 10 years and 100 issue of the IDW TMNT universe, and Tom and I had some conversations Peter and I had those years ago. Where do we go from here? The original draft was dusted off, and the idea of the last Ronin began to take shape. The approach was completely organic, like the old days where Peter and I worked together. The final story steadily evolved through years of rewrites, design, and layouts, including tweaking dialogue the night before it went to press in order to make it perfect. It is one of the most challenging projects I have ever worked on, and one of the most rewarding. Thanks doesn't say enough, Tom. Besides the brilliant Tom Waltz, series artists Itsu and Isaac Escorza, sorry if I mispronounced the name, and Ben Bishop, topped off with colorist Luis Antonio Delgado, are a true dream team. Without them, as well as the series editor Bobby Curnow, designer Sean Lee, and the entire IDW and Nickelodeon crews, this book would have not been possible. I would like to dedicate this book to my awesome co-creator Peter Lloyd. And again, I apologize if I mispronounced your last name. As we did in 1984 with issue number 1, I would also like to dedicate The Last Ronin to Jack Kirby and Frank Miller. Isn't Frank Miller didn't he do a Batman run? Let me know in the chat. Anyways, the TMNT would have never have been possible without you. This one is for Courtney and Shane. With all my love and gratitude for your support, my heartfelt thanks goes out to the fans. You've given me the greatest job and the greatest life I could have never imagined. I will continue to try to earn it. Kevin Eastman, March 2022. So that was a heartfelt message. But yeah, going back to the final chapter for a bit, which again, like I said, this was a really heartfelt message from Kevin Eastman, a co-creator of the Ninja Turtles. Was thank you for making this possible, because oh my god, I so love this. This is like my favorite comic book now. And shout out to Eamon Fake, because he actually gave this to me. So yeah, sub to his channel. I will have his channel linked in the description below. So please go follow Aim and Fate. Um, like I said, now that I'll save more of it in my next video whenever I like tell what I like tell my overall thoughts of this series. But one thing I'll say before get into that video, whenever that stream I should say will be. One thing I like about or a few things I like about this. The questions that I had since chapter 1, they answered those questions. Whether it was in like some of those questions answered in chapter or part 1 by the end of part 1, or those questions that were answered later in our part 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the questions I had while I was reading this, they actually answered. And even the small, like some of the small details that I wouldn't think that exactly mattered, and I really like enjoyed this. Like this also makes me look at Michelangelo in a different way, because Michelangelo, we all know him as the party dude, as the 1980s theme song says, but this actually like makes me look at Michelangelo in a different way, and make me have more respect for Michelangelo. And I do like how dark and mature, like darkness is, like the matureness throughout the series. And I'm happy that they weren't afraid. They like, what am I trying to say? I'm happy that they weren't afraid of holding back. They were like, they went full into the story. They weren't afraid to show blood. They didn't overuse anything, in my opinion. This was like a really amazing story, and I like am really thankful that I was able to read this. My only criticism is I wish we would have saw like Michelangelo talking to like Force Ghost Splinter as he talked to his brothers, like. But as like one of you guys said in the comments like a few videos ago, Mikey wouldn't have talked to Splinter the way he talked to his brothers, and that is true. But I would have still liked that one moment, like where Mikey may have like lost his faith a bit in the story, right? And Splinter comes along and says, pretty much, you know what? You're my last surviving son, Michelangelo. Get up. You don't have time to feel bad right now. The city needs you. You got this. I believe in you. Your brothers believes in you. You got this. So get your ass up and fight the shell out of the Foot Clan and end this war. If you want to honor the memory of me and your brothers, get your shell up and end this war. I would have liked that. I would have liked that moment here. Not saying that it was like I'm not saying that that not having that moment takes anything out for me. It's just I would have loved to have that part in, just to add something for me, if that makes sense. But I was like that. I really have like. Let's have no complaints about it. That one thing I just mentioned was more like a nitpick. But let's see some of the artwork in the back, shall we? Oh, that looks so cool. Oh, that looks so cool. I actually like how like badass Mikey looks with this, right? He looks so cool. And I might actually make an entire video just to look at the concept art, or I may incorporate this in the live stream. I will do about the entire series, but this kind of reminds me of Batman, Ninja Turtle themed Batman, pretty much. Like, I don't know why, but it does. Well, yeah, I think this is supposed to be Mikey with the red bandana. Either Mikey or Raphael, I can't tell. It's Mikey, because if you notice behind him, there's the sword, so I'm guessing that's Mikey. I actually use this as one of the thumbnails. I like this. The sigh in the water. So that's a lot. So that's a lot. I'm happy I didn't see the artwork before reading this. And I think I did use like this, but this artwork as like the first thumbnail, like the thumbnail for the first port I did, which is adding me about like here ish, and the last Ronin title was up here, so pretty cool to see. And I like this post. This post looks pretty cool. I want these as wallpapers for my PlayStation. God damn it. I like this on the right, but this on the left. Oh my god, that looks funny. It looks like this. I don't know which turtle this is, and I'm guessing this is Casey. But this looks like they have rabies. I'm sorry, this looks like they have rabies. I don't know if that was the intent, but it looks like they have rabies. Look how bug-eyed this turtle looks. It really looks like they have rabies. And these looks pretty badass. If I have to say so myself, these looks pretty badass. Sorry if there's a glare. Not my intent. Is there any more? Is there any more? Ooh. Ooh. I really like this. This looks pretty cool. I think this was my thumbnail for the last video I did. I don't remember at the moment. I have to look. But I like this. It looks so cool. Casey Marie, Mikey, April, and the Future Droid said. It looks so cool. I think there's one more after this. Now that image is just heartbreaking. That image is just heartbreaking. But yeah, overall, now that I completed The Last Ronin, do I recommend you guys getting this? Yes. If you guys are comic book fans, get this. If you guys are Ninja Turtle fans, get this, because this is seriously one of the best comic books I've ever read. I have 3. I have this, Batman versus Batman and the Ninja Turtles. Because I might make a video of this because I reviewed the movie, and I may make a video just off this comic book in the future. And I got the Urban Legends, where this is I feel like this a tad bit more graphic than The Last Ronin was. But yeah, these 2 stories are good. These 2 stories are good. Trust me, they are good. And I do recommend getting these 2. This comic book, Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the Urban Legends. I do recommend getting those 2. But if you want, like, my recommendation, this is a must-buy. This is a must-buy, especially if you're a Ninja Turtle fan and comic book fan in general. This is a must-buy. If you like, kind of like, this kind of makes me feel like that dark and gritty feel that Batman also has. It also is in here too. So, yeah, this is really good. I rate this like about a 5+ out of 5 stars. It's that good. Literally my favorite Ninja Turtle comic book. I like probably my favorite comic book of all. And I do highly recommend giving this a read if you guys can. But I think, well, Leonardo's my favorite turtle. I mean, obviously. But I think Michelangelo, the Last Ronin, has to be my favorite turtle. I mean, my favorite character in The Last Ronin. Because the way I guess the reason why Michelangelo is my favorite character in The Last Ronin was because it made me look at Michelangelo in a different light. And he has gone through so much. And he just wants to do what's right by his family and the people that he cares about and the war. And you can tell that it took a toll on him. and I really like the character development of him. And I'm very much interested in how they will continue the story with Casey Marie as the sensei and there being a new batch of turtles. I'm really interested in that. So, yeah. Let me guys. Let me know what you guys think. Felt. Let me. I can't even end this video right because I'm too damn excited about this. Let me know what you guys thought about the final chapter of The Last Ronin, and what do you guys think, or how do you guys feel of The Last Ronin series? Was it a hell yeah, or was it like a show-tastic for you guys, or it was gnarly enough, it was passable, or was it as like it was in for you guys? Let me know in the comment section. It was show-tastic for me, but let me know how you guys feel about The Last Ronin final chapter, as well as the entire series. And are you guys excited for a sequel for The Last Ronin? I am. Let me know what you guys think or how you guys feel in the comment section down below. Love you all. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I'll talk to you mutants. Blah, blah, blah. I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you mutants later. I'm ending this before I mess up now. Bye.